Good morning, everyone. It is the Vibe Kage here. I'm smoking a White Owl because fuck, this has been giving me trouble because yet again last night I kept on trying to record this video and it kept on cutting off after like the first 10 minutes. And that was also the issue with the last one. The last one I got up the way to like 30 something minutes, and that's why I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to post it because I don't feel like recording all that half again. And to clarify, the other video of what if Deku was cheated on is the background information of Deku's training. And yeah, I'm explaining how he went from virgin bitch to badass man whore. And that's why. And I get there were some people confused. Um, so yeah, and I'm not trying to be a dick to anyone. It was just like, did I not clarify it? But yeah, that was it. And this is Yui Kodai, I think. And in case you're wondering, Deku's manhorness, in this one, he's just fucking a lot of women. He's not really having kids. He will have a single girlfriend, but he himself is just like, I kind of want to be a man horse still, so fuck. And he will be like fornicating with multiple women. And Makiestra dolls, the Russian dolls, I do not know how to pronounce it because my name might be Ivan, but I ain't Russian. So yeah, I'll just refer to them as the Russian dolls, the Russian nesting dolls. And yeah, so Izuku went to go buy Momo a gift of the Russian nesting dolls because she was there watching over him, and he does feel grateful, and he also feels awkward that his nut got on her face, and that she saw him boning Mitsuki. And to address a comment I do some on why I don't get embarrassed by talking about this shit is because I myself had a man whore moment, and that is I had inadvertently fucked one of my ex's moms because I had not seen my ex's mom in like 3 years, and then we meet up again. So I fucked her, and the moment after I fucked my ex's mom, my ex calls her, and I realize, oh, that's why you looked familiar. So I get why it's like confusing, but yeah. Hold up, text back my friend Emily. I'm low-key therapist right now, so yeah. Oh wait, before I forget, happy birthday to Stuart Kyle, because he commented yesterday saying that today will be his birthday. So happy birthday, my dude. Here's a shout out for you. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. And no names, you too. I like your comments and feedbacks. It's very fun. I was like happy when I said you were watching this in your Zoom class, because I'm like, bro, I fucking hate Zoom. Fuck. Yeah, no. And in case y'all wondering, I work as a like supervisor, as a cook. So I work in a kitchen majority of the time, so that's why. And the hours on there are kind of erratic. So yeah. And I did read a comment that I like, and that is Deku fucking Melissa to spite All Might. And you know what? That's going to be part of this, because Deku is a man whore, and he does become a badass. So yeah. And I will be getting into like how and why he's like his transition is changing, because one thing that I realized I didn't mention in the other ones, when he fused with Zagrid, he got like, I said he did get all the knowledge that Zagrid got, but that means like he has to go through that whole like downloaded information of everything that went through his mind. Strawberry White Owl. Sponsor me, White Owl, Swishers. I smoke your products a lot because kitchen's stressful. So yeah. And yeah, let me just get with it. So buys this it was on sale, like this rare collectible um Russian nesting doll. I can't say the word. I'm not even gonna bother trying. It starts with an M, and that's all I know. And yeah, so he buys the last one, and the person behind him saying, "There's no more." Deku sees, and he recognizes her, and he says, "Yui Kodai, right? You're in you're friends with Kendo, right?" And I'm gonna just say Izuku knows about Kendo because Kendo and Momo were always compared to one another, so they're friends by default, and Izuku's friends with Momo, so he knows of people in Kendo's class, just some. And because she has black hair and likes rushing nesting dolls too, it's like another version of Momo, but not Momo. And yeah, so they start talking, and Izuku explains why he's getting the nesting doll because she doesn't not know. Like, she heard that Izuku broke up with Uraka, and Ida and Momo are not together, but Yui not Yui. Is it Yui? What? No, yeah, it's Yui because Yu is Mountain Lady. Anyway, Yui's not really someone to like ask about it, and so she asks Deku if like the reason why you're buying the Russian nesting doll is it like because you want to ask out Momo, and Izuku's just like no, it's more like a thank you gift because she helped look after me while I was in my coma, and she like was looking at Izuku's hair and eyes, and like she asks is like are you in context and or like what's up with the new look, and he does explain he went into a coma after like the whole and Izuku does tell her yeah no Ida fucked Uraka and that's why things are different. So Yui just takes this chance and saying so you're single, and Yui just because she always thought Izuku was cute because fuck it, my canon, my story, I don't know what to tell you. She always thought he was cute, so he gets her number and they just go off on their separate ways. Izuku later makes a date with her, and that's where this moment will happen because they're in like a fancy dressing get up attire. So yeah, um, Izuku he does meet Momo again, and he gives her the rushing nesting doll, and he's so apologetic for um what Momo saw, and yeah, and Momo she's embarrassed, and she admits that it's not like she never wanted to do it with Ida. It's just she just like because he was so pushy, it didn't feel right. And when she's with Midoriya, she always feels she wants to do more with him for some reason, and she never got it. But when she saw Izuku doing it with Mitsuki, she felt hurt, but only because she realized she never got a chance to tell Izuku that she does like him. And well, yeah. So Izuku was just like, "Really, Mama?" And I'm flattered. Yeah. Um. And now I'm gonna be going like back to back Momo Izuku conversation. So right now I will be Izuku. Really, Momo? I'm flattered. To be honest, I never really thought you would like me so much, but I really am glad. He gives her the Russian nesting doll, and Momo was surprised that Izuku got her this because, well, she mostly buys everything herself, and because of that, I'll say Ida never actually bought her any gifts because Ida's a shitty guy. My cigarette turned off. There we go. Oh, gotta get that. That nicotine. Yes, I know smoking's bad for you. I'm 23. I don't really care. I had my smoking habit since I was 18 because I worked at Old Chicago. I ended up cutting off a piece of my thumb there because fuck. And like just like part of the tip of my thumb. So it's weird. Yeah, no. That's neither here nor there. So yeah, Izuku and Momo actually end up talking with one another. let me go to a different pic because this is going to be weird now. Okay. Izuku still relatively looks like this. He has not gotten any tattoos yet. So he actually asked Momo if he wants to go with him to get his first tattoo appointment. And she's going like, "You're getting a tattoo?" He's saying, "Yeah. I feel like I should change my look. Because the red eyes and black hair, it's good and all, but I don't know. Just feel like a new switch up for college, you know? I finally get a chance to be myself, and well, after looking at it, I don't hate myself, but my confidence is really trash. And I mean, it is getting better now because of experiences. Yeah, because of experiences. Momo interrupted him, so yeah. Izuku's just like, that one was dry. So no, Izuku, he thanks Momo for watching out for him and drinking water. Because might as well do something healthy, right? Oh, fuck. Anyway, Izuku's just like, he doesn't tell her that he has a date with Yui because he doesn't need to. And so he asked Momo just to go with him to get his tattoo. And this is where he's going to get his Aizawa tattoo. And Momo asked, "But don't you like All Might?" And Izuku's just like, "All Might and I had a fallout. So, no, I pretty much have already... I'm in the process of selling all that All Might merch that I had. There's some limited edition stuff too, so I should get good money from it." And yeah, so he gets his Aizawa tattoo, and then he looks at Momo, and then he asks the tattoo guy to schedule another appointment, and he's saying, "Sure." And when Momo's saying, "Another one?" he looked at Momo and saying, "Yeah." And he looks at the person, and he's saying he wants to get a Russian nesting doll that looks like his friend. He looks at her, and he's saying, "I can do that. I'll text you a sketch, when I have time." Izuku's just saying thank you. And Momo's just like, "You want a tattoo of me?" And Izuku's just like, "If anything, I think you're the first best friend I have that's, who's nice to me. Because, yeah, Bakugo's cool, but if he ever finds out what happened and he gulps with his mom and me, I don't know how that friendship would work." And so Momo's flattered, and she does thank Izuku. And Momo, she does ask Izuku, how was it losing his virginity to Mitsuki? And then Izuku was just, "Actually, I lost it to Fuyumi." And then Momo's just like, "Todoroki's older sister?" And Izuku's just like, "Fuck. She didn't know. Right, she only knew about Mitsuki." And Izuku's just like, "Don't tell Todoroki." And Momo's just like, "What if Endeavor finds out?" And he's just like, that's technically only 3 people know. You, me, and Fuyumi right now, so you don't need to spread the word because I accidentally let it slip out, so can you do me a favor and keep it a secret?" Momo's just like, "Well, yeah, Izuku, I won't say anything to them." Correction, I won't say anything to the boys. She's very specific about that because she getting a lot of tea. And yeah. So Momo and Izuku end up just having a fun day together, and they're just hanging out as friends. I'll say they get a text message from Mei Hatsume, and because she wanted to talk to those two, mostly because they're good friends with Mei, who's also, well, Izuku's definitely good friends with Mei because they're both on the support course, and Mei already knows about Izuku, it's just like, she's just like, okay, I'm gonna keep on inventing and tinkering with my stuff. So Izuku goes with Mei, and Izuku actually asked Mei to make a hero support item that's disguised as one of the Russian nesting dolls. And Momo's like asking, oh, that's cool. But because it looks like a regular Russian nesting doll, she's not expecting much. And then Mei says, go ahead and turn it. She turns the head and pretty much just knockout gas, and Momo passes out. And Mei's the only one with a gas mask. Izuku's just like, Mei, what the hell? And she's just like, well, I modeled it after Midnight's gas, so yeah, I'm pretty proud of this baby. Izuku's just like, yeah, but when will Momo wake up? And then Mei's just like, oh, I never really thought of that. So Izuku's just like, dang, Mei, it's really a cool invention, just, damn. Because he's just like, he now just lifts up Momo, and he puts her, like, just on the wall, and he takes off his coat that he's, like, this sweater that he's wearing, and puts it over Momo to, like, keep her covered. So him and Mei just go into a talk, and Izuku pulls out a chocolate bar for Mei, because Mei loves chocolate, and Izuku's payment to Mei has always been just chocolate. So yeah, Izuku and Mei, they're talking, they're having fun. And Mei actually invites Izuku to Island with her because, well, yeah. In case you're wondering, it's time for the Heroes movie, Heroes Rising. But in this one, Izuku and Mei are the only two going because it's not really a giant art expo like it was in the last anime or a party. In a sense, this is just Mei going because she wants Izuku to meet her friend Melissa, who's going to be in, like, because they got to know each other through their work. So yeah. And Izuku also being a tinkerer and a gadget and all his All Might shit. Because Mei even sent Izuku's All Might gadgets to Melissa, and Melissa wants to meet Izuku. So that's how that's going. But she doesn't tell that Melissa, well, no. The only thing she told Melissa is Izuku's single, and that's it. But Mei doesn't know about the fallout he had with All Might. So that's going to be fun. Izuku and Melissa are now meeting. And so time skip to that, which is just like a few hours of a plane trip. Mei leaves the two alone because she's saying, okay, I'm going to go set up all my projects. Have fun. And leaves. Izuku just like, oh, nice to meet you. My name is Izuku Midoriya. And Melissa's just like, pleasure. My name is Melissa Shield. And Izuku's just like, you mean you're the daughter of David Shield? That's so cool. I love his gadgets and all his work. And then Melissa's just like, oh, thanks. I go like, I invent too. And Izuku kind of fanboys a little bit. Oh, that's so cool. Go like, I was wondering why Mei wanted me to come here. And, oh yeah. And Melissa is just like, oh, cool. So you're Izuku. And she blushes a little bit. And Izuku's just like, what's wrong? And Melissa's just like, it's just something Mei said that, I'm sorry, it's embarrassing. And Izuku's just like, what is it? Well, Mei's been getting mad at me because my last two boyfriends broke up with me because I'm always gadgeting and never had time with them. Blah, blah, blah. And that I need to find a guy who does gadgets if I ever want to be happy. And Mei told me that you were single. And Melissa starts blushing more. And that you and I are roughly the same age. And that if she could get a +1, she'd bring you here. I really didn't think she'd bring you here, but it's very nice to meet you. Izuku's just like, I didn't know Mei wanted to play Cupid. And Izuku's like, he has a bit more confidence now because, I mean, he already has a date with Yui, and he's already fucked 2 older women. So his confidence is grown a little bit. And his talk with Momo does help him, like, understand. Uraraka cheating on him was not because he was less of anything. It's just, Uraka was just being a hoe. And Izuku does feel better. So he does show Melissa his new tattoo of Aizawa. And Melissa's thinking, oh, that's so cool. And then Melissa's thinking, that's... Like, she references his inventions being all based off of All Might. And Izuku kind of... Like, he lets... Like, his demeanor changes into, oh... Yeah, no. He looks at her and says, All Might and I aren't really on good terms. And Melissa's asking him, shit, well, why? Uncle Might and it's normally always pretty cool. And Izuku does get mad, saying, All Might's your uncle? And Melissa's just like, well, no, not really. We're not related by blood. It's just him and my dad have always been good friends. And then when my dad had me and All Might was just there to help, raise me and shit. And then Izuku got, a fucked up thought for the first time. He's like, I could use her to get back at All Might for something. I just don't know what. And, yeah, Izuku's demeanor, he sighs, and he's just like, well, can't really blame you for anything All Might does. Whatever. I can't blame you for anything All Might did in the past. I mean, yeah, me and him probably won't ever be on good terms now, but he grabs Melissa's hand, and he's saying, Maid thought we'd be good, maybe as a couple, I'm guessing. So how about a date? And Melissa's just like, oh, I don't know why I thought it'd be more difficult to talk to you. And Izuku's just like, yeah, well, might as well enjoy the single life, right? And Melissa's just nodding and saying, yeah, let's. So they go on a date and they have a fun dinner together. And Izuku, the entire time he's with her, he does smile. And he tells Melissa that he's glad she's not really related to All Might. And when she asks why, he's saying, because it's really weird to crush on a girl who's related to someone who you're not with, can't get along with. And Melissa blushes, saying, crushing? And Izuku just goes off on well, yeah, you have beautiful blonde hair. What the fuck? That's weird. Never mind. Yeah, you have beautiful blonde hair. Your eyes are cool, so blue, like the ocean and the sky. Melissa's just getting red now. Izuku grabs both hands because, yeah, and he gets closer to her, and then he's going off, and he's saying, not to mention your smile is very very captivating. If anything, All Might should wear a mask to cover up his face. Wow, why am I stumbling on this? If anything, All Might should wear a mask. His smile, I don't really see it as assuring. If anything, your smile is warm as the sun. And Melissa's just like, oh my god, May, why didn't you tell me this guy was a flirt? So yeah. Izuku, he does get closer to her, because they were, apart from each other in the table. Izuku just moves his chair to, right next to Melissa. And he's just talking with her about, his new, how his power mutated, in a sense. And she's wondering, what do you mean your power mutated? And Izuku, and by the way, I finally looked it up what it was. It was the quark singularity, not the quark factor. So, I was wrong on a few other videos. So he's saying his quark mutated into a different form of singularity. It wasn't just him being super strong. He now speaks his will into existence. And May's very interested by this power. She asks for a demonstration, and Izuku's just saying, I can't really demonstrate my power in a restaurant. It'd be too noticeable and flashy. And I don't want anyone to interrupt us. Because Izuku, he admits he's attracted to May's, not May, but Melissa. Well, he is attracted to May, but that's just something else. So he's just talking with Melissa, and they continue, and Melissa saying, well, if you want, we can go back to my lab, and you can show your powers there. I'd love to show you some of the gadgets, and maybe I can get your thoughts on how to improve some. Izuku's just like, I'd like that. I'd like that a lot. So they walk together, they go. May actually was following them, because why not? She's just thinking, this is fun. Might as well see what the two lovebirds are doing. And yeah. So, Melissa and Izuku, they go into Melissa's lab. And she just starts showing Izuku all of her inventions and how some are based off of All Might. And Izuku's just saying, one hero that he looks up to is Eraserhead. And she's thinking, if you could make something that replicates Eraser's eraser quirk, then you might be helping a lot more than just boosting someone's strength to hurt them. Because Izuku then goes into a speech how All Might's power is super destructive. I mean, yeah, he uses it for good, but if people are looking up to someone whose power is more based off destruction than something useful, as in, oh yeah, you can't use your power because that's my power, that might work. So Melissa is she does ask. No, she doesn't ask about the whole. Izuku did tell her about the incident with Uraka and how that happened, and how All Might pretty much saying, yeah, no, you can't be a hero if you're doing that. And Melissa understood Deku's rage, because that's very fucked up. So she does think All Might was in the wrong for scolding Izuku. So yeah. Izuku and Mei eventually start talking about more of their likes and dislikes. And Mei eventually, she just goes to Izuku and she's just saying, can you show me your power now? And Izuku's just like, right, so my power is called Word Soul. Mei's just nodding in agreement. And Izuku then, he looks over to her, and he takes 4 steps back, tells Mei to take 2 steps back, because he's not trying to have a repeat of what happened last time with Fuyumi. And Melissa listens, and Izuku's just then, come here. And then Melissa's just was almost telekinetically force pulled towards him. And Izuku sticked out his hand to see if that might help. So she does come and she stops right before his hand. But when she was coming close to him, it was her chest was going towards him first. So when she stops and Izuku's hand is out there, it's only an inch apart before he's right on her titties. And Melissa's just were you about to? And Izuku realizes, and he puts his hand down and saying, no, I was just showing you the power. I really am. That's why I kind of wanted you to take a step back. I'm still trying to figure out how to use my power properly. Last time I said to get closer to someone, they ended up just falling over me, and I couldn't really. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily the best thing. So yeah, Melissa and Izuku, they just start talking, and Mei's starting to get bored here because she's just they're not doing anything. So Mei releases one of her Russian dolls in the corner, one of the gas ones, and this one, it's a gas of an aphrodisiac. So yeah, and Mei just leaves after that. She's saying, okay, this has to get them to work. In a sense, this is as if Deku took 2 Viagra and Melissa took 2 women's Viagra. And they both feel it right away. And Izuku's, he catches, he does feel really, really excited. And then he realizes, there's got to be something up with this, because Melissa's also starting to, quiver and shake. Because, yeah. And Melissa's saying she also feels really funny, And, like, she doesn't want to be really rude to Izuku, but, like, she's, like, looking down at Izuku's crotch. And Izuku's just like, wait a minute. Because the aphrodisiac had started to get him excited without his realization. So he's at attention. And Melissa's just like, Izuku? And Izuku's just like, ah, I swear it's in, like, the two are starting to, like, breathe in the smoke more. And once Izuku starts, like, breathing in, because he's starting to, like, trying to take deep breaths to calm himself, he, like, slightly catches this, like, a smell that, like, it's the gas. It's finally, like, where he can notice it. But it's not really a distinctive smell. It's just something new. And then he starts looking, and then he sees the little Russian doll. He runs to it, grabs it, and, like, crushes it with his hands. Unfortunately, by doing that, he releases all the gas that was in there. And it was supposed to be a slow burn for, like, an hour. Because this is a prototype of Mei that she was trying to use for Izuku and Melissa. But when Deku crushed it, he got, like, full dosage, and his thing is just, it ripped out of his pants. And when the smoke cleared, he's coughing. His eyes are now, like, have a pinkish red glow to it. And he looked at Melissa, and he straight up tells Melissa, this is Mei's doing. And Melissa sees that Deku's thing is fully out. And Melissa's just like, we'll yell at her later. And Melissa just runs to Izuku because she herself is not really immune to stuff like this. I'd say Izuku's tolerance with being a half devil made it take longer for him to fully surrender. But once Melissa starts running up to him and kissing him on the neck and everything, and by this point Izuku's hickeys are gone. I'm gonna just say that. Devil healing, because fuck it, why not? He just used his word soul magic to heal himself, to hide the hickey, like to fix the hickeys and all the scratches on his back, because he ain't gonna go to an island dressed as a whore, so he's not Uraraka. What? Nothing whatsoever. Anyway, Izuku and not Mei. Fuck. Melissa. They're going at it. Melissa gives him the sloppy toppy 3000. And Izuku is very enjoyed. But then he realizes, I technically know some things. So he tells Melissa to, like, stop, and that he wants to, like, give her pleasure. Melissa accepts, and Izuku starts eating it from the back. And I'll say Izuku's bust out the tongue tornado on Melissa and hit her with the 2-finger combo. Give her that 2-piece. What? I said nothing. So no, Izuku, he gets Melissa off. And yeah, because Izuku's hands were the one that crushed the aphrodisiac. He was unaware that he technically just supercharged her up too. So once Melissa climaxes, she just says, wait right here. She goes, grabs 2 2 bracelets, and she puts one on Izuku and then one on her, turns them on, and then Izuku's saying, what did this do? And she's saying, it'll synchronize our heart rates to she blushes and says, so we can climax together. And Izuku's just saying, oh, I'm down. So now he's actually Melissa's just like asking Izuku, do you have protection? And Izuku's just like, I do not. And Melissa's just like, well, she pulls out this little piece, and then it's like the size of a belly button piercing, and she puts it on. I'll say she had her belly button pierced, so she just switches out her navel piercing with that one, and she's saying this should temporarily suspend my ovaries from working. Because she's trying to figure out birth control without drugs using science. Because fuck it, why not? And she's saying, it's just the prototype. So, don't be too mad. And Izuku's just like, not mad at all. Whatsoever. So, May... Fuck! Why do I keep on saying May? Because honestly, I think I like May more than Melissa. Because I like the steampunk look too. So, yeah. But y'all want Deku to fuck Melissa to spite All Might. That's exactly what he's gonna do. Because might as well. So Izuku and Melissa are going at... I think I have to say Melissa first now. So it's easier. So Izuku and Melissa, getting it right that time, they're going at it. And hold up. Yeah, this is the only appropriate photo I could find for this ship, so I don't know what to tell y'all. Y'all, if y'all want to see that shit, fucking go put incognito mode on or something. This is YouTube, my guys. There's only so far I will go and how far I can show. This is like the most appropriate thing I could find in this. Sorry, not sorry. The best I can do is just help y'all with details. Because I suck at drawing. I'm only good at, like, thinking of shit and cooking, honestly. So, yeah. Deku just fucks the shit out of Melissa. And since she was wearing her anti-pregnancy label piercing, APPN for short, because why not? No, APNP. Yeah, there we go. APNP. Anti-pregnancy navel piercing. So yeah. She's wearing it, and Izuku's pretty much in the back of, like, the way they're justifying it right now is Izuku's pretty much helping Melissa test out to make sure that, yeah, this is a successful piece of equipment. So, yeah. And in case you're wondering why there's a heart button, I have to favor all the photos that I'm going to put in one so I can scam it, because I also have a fuck ton of memes on my phone that I have to switch back and forth from. So, yeah. So, Izuku and Melissa, Melissa get turned into a pie 3 times, and Izuku, he is very exhausted. Him and Melissa, yeah, they just did it in the lab too, so things are about to get much more escalated, because this is when Hatsume is returning, and I think that's it. For right now, I'm going to have to refer to her as Hatsume so I don't fuck this up. Hatsume returns, and she just opens the door because, well, it wasn't locked when she left, and they didn't lock it when they fucked because, yeah. So when she walks in, she sees Deku and Melissa just naked on top of each other. And she just snags a photo, and she's just like, I wonder who will give me the better, who gives the biggest bribe out of this. And so she sends the photo to Izuku and Melissa, and then walks away with an evil smirk. And she just captioned it, I got like, just call me Cupid. And with the devil emojis smiling. And they get the message, and they don't notice it because they're just out cold. But like 2 hours later, when like Izuku starts stirring, he goes to his phone, checks it, sees he has a photo from Hatsume. He opens it and sees that it's him and Melissa. And he's just realizing, okay, May, I know I don't hit women, but I really want to punch you. And then he's just thinking, I'll get Momo to do it. As he just kind of like falls back asleep into Melissa's arms. And Melissa, when she sees the photo, she's just like telling Hatsume like to delete it. And Hatsume's just like, well, sure, why not? Because Hatsume is just like happy that she was able to help Izuku get over Uraraka in a sense, and that she was able to get her friend dick down in a sense. So that's how that went. And yeah, see what time? Oh, just 11, 12, not bad. My cigarette keeps on going out because I don't take as many hits as I should be right now. I bet those two could use a cigarette. What? Nothing. Anyway, Izuku and Melissa exchanged contact information, and Melissa's just like, I'll let you know in a few weeks if APNA was a success. And hold up. And I'll go to this one, because this one made me laugh. This is one of the memes that I said it was just too funny not for me to share. And yeah. So this is how this is gonna go. Izuku goes back home to Island, and him and Mei are having this fun and awkward... Well, Mei's just on her phone, just smiling, and Izuku's just like, I can't believe you did that. And Mei's just like, what? I figured you needed a way to go get over Uraraka. And Izuku's just like, yeah, but we just met. Don't you think that's moving a bit too quickly? And then Mei just says nonchalantly, I think you two would have made cute babies, so no, not really. And Izuku's just like, well, I hate to burst your bubble, but Melissa had invented something that would technically stop that, so no babies. And Mei's just like, what do you mean she invented something? Yeah, she called it the APNA, anti-pregnancy navel piercing. And then Mei's just saying nonchalantly, well, I think I can make one better, and you're going to help me test it out. Because either I make a successful baby, or you and me are going to make cute babies. And Izuku's just like, Mei, what? And Mei's just like, yeah. Don't think I didn't see your thing. And you're like, by far, that's not something I think I can replicate with machinery, so... And the way that Melissa was smiling, I can tell that you know how to use it well, so... I don't know why Uraraka cheated. And then Izuku's just like, because we never had sex, and it was only recently. And Izuku's just like, so wait, not Izuku. Melissa's just like, was Mei was like, was Melissa your first then? And Izuku's just like, no. He had gotten experience a few days prior. And I'll say this is when he gets a text from Yui saying, like, are they still on? Because their date is tomorrow, so, yeah. And Izuku was just like, don't worry about it, Mei. There's no need for you to worry about this. And Izuku just kind of remains silent for the rest of the flight. And Mei's kind of pouty, because, like, now you won't tell me anything? And Izuku's like, yeah, you used me. And not Melissa. Oh, now I'm fucking hit the reverse way. And now Mei's just like, you sure we're enjoying yourself, though? To which Izuku can't deny. So, yeah. And when they're at their airport and taking baggage claim, I'll say Kami is working there right now because it's a side job. Why not? And so Izuku meets Kami again. And I'll say they've met a few times earlier because their schools would do competitions against one another. But because Izuku was in the support course, he never really, talked to her or fought her. So when he, says, you're Kami, right? And Kami's just like, you know me? And he's just saying, you went to Shiketsu, right? And she's going like, yeah. I'm going to UA for college. And in case you're wondering where Hatsume is, Izuku they already parted ways, so why not? Because Mei don't need to see what Deku, when he's always with a chick, because she's not a stalker. That's Toga. And in case you're wondering, he's not gonna fuck Toga because not in this one. No, no, no. Because she still be crazy hung up on Izuku. And yeah. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so Deku and Kami, Deku just starts talking to Kami and how he's seen her at their sports festivals and all that stuff, and how her quirk is really cool. And Kami just asks, "Oh, thanks. What's your quirk?" And Izuku's just like, my quirk is called Word Soul." Kami, now being interested, asks him all about it. He explains it. And then Kami's saying, "Wait a minute. You dated that brunette girl, right?" And he kind of sours up a bit. And he's just like, "No. I broke up with her when I found her fucking my best friend." And Kami's just like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring up a sore subject." To which Izuku's just like, No, it's okay. It's more my fault. I should have never fallen in love with her. Damn, my cigarette's out. I bought a cigarette. So yeah, Izuku's just telling Kami, nah, he shouldn't have done that, and it's just something that he didn't expect himself. Like, he kind of figured it would have ended badly, like a part of him did, because they were so young. But to end it like that was not something he was hoping for or expecting. So it hurt Izuku. But then he just talks about how he's gotten over her already because he already has a date with with a friend or with a girl. And Kamen's just like, "Oh, that's nice. So is this girl going to be your new girlfriend?" And Izuku's just like, if anything, it's just more like a date now, and if it continues, maybe date again. But until then, I'm still single. And Kame was just like, well, if your date is tomorrow night, I get off in like an hour. Do you want to get lunch? Yeah, I'll just say it's lunch. Izuku's just like, sure, why not? So Izuku's just chilling at the airport waiting for Kami. And Kami, I'll say she has a car, because Izuku took an Uber with him to get to the airport. And Izuku is in the process of buying a car. He's just not there yet, you know? So Izuku, he and Kami, they enjoy their little lunch. And I'll say they just get sushi. Ow. And while Deku... I'm trying to think. How can I phrase this properly? Deku is interested in Kami's, like, quirk and all the possibilities it can do. So he's constantly looking at her mouth. And Kami notices this, so she just starts licking her lips in front of him. And she sees Izuku, like, blush. And so Kami's just like, do you like my lips? My lip gloss tastes like cherry. So she pulls out her lip gloss and she gives it to Izuku. Here, try some. And Izuku's just like, I'm good, thanks. Sorry, I didn't realize I was staring. And Kami's just like, no, it's fine. I like getting attention like that. It lets me know that you're interested. And Kami looks at Izuku and saying, so since you don't have a girlfriend, she just starts, like, rubbing her lips a little bit. And she's just like, I haven't kissed anyone recently. Because she's single. And Izuku's just like, oh, well then. And Kami's just like, judging by your reaction or how you're acting, I'm going with that you have though, right? And Izuku blushes because he's getting flashbacks of all the things he did with Fuyumi, Mitsuki, and Melissa. And Kami's just like, I think it's not fair. And so Kami just kisses Izuku on the lips. And that's all they're going to be doing right now because it's the first date. Y'all got to be patient on that. What the hell? I know he a man whore, but he's getting there, guys. He's getting there. And after this kiss, Izuku, like I'll say it was just like a soft, like 10-second kiss. No tongue action, just that. And yeah, Kimi compliments Deku on being a good kisser. And Deku just blushing, saying she is also a good kisser, and how her lips are the softest he's ever felt. And Kimi just smiles and saying, that's a good compliment. And yeah, so Kimi tells Deku to call her so they can do more fun stuff. And so they can kiss more often. And Izuku's just like, sure, I'd like that. And Kami's just smiling because she's like, cool. And yeah, so Izuku goes on his date with Yui now. And since it's weird because if I remember right, they said her favorite food was tomatoes. So, let some air throw. I'll say she and Deku go to an Italian restaurant, and she gets a caprese salad, which is just mozzarella, slices of tomato, and green anchovy and pepper sauce, which is still pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's really good. It's a simple dish and it's really tasty. And yeah, Izuku and her, hold up, back to this photo. So they enjoy their date, and Izuku did buy her a small Russian nesting doll, and inside of it was just a ring pop, like one of the candy ones, because Izuku was trying to be cute about this. And so yeah, he gives it to her, and she opens it. She laughs at the ring, and she's saying, I didn't know you wanted to marry me so fast, Izuku. Izuku kind of blushes and saying, well, what can I say? You just know a keeper when you see it. And she blushes at this, and she actually cracks a smile. And Izuku compliments on the smile because she's been, like in the manga, she always has like that expressionless face. And Izuku's just saying, so when you do crack a smile, no. So you can crack a smile. And what the fuck? My neighbor's dog, bro. Sorry, y'all hearing him. I don't know why he's howling. I don't even know the dog's name. They always keep it inside. I always think he wants to run out and play, and that's sad, but what can you do, right? It's not my dog, so can't do shit about it. So Izuku and Yui enjoy their date, and yeah. And they were, like, they get, like, Izuku was just playing with the whole marriage and the ring pop, but she enjoyed the sweet gesture. And so yeah, she does keep the ring pop, and yeah, they have a fun date. Izuku walks her back to her place. I'll say he did get his car finally. He finally got it approved. He has that 30-day tag. Or I don't know how they do cars in Japan, honestly. And I'll say he has his car and he's dropping her off. He walks her to her door, and Yui just goes in for a kiss right away. Not like just fuck it, why not? And so Deku wraps his arms around her, and yeah, full tongue action for like a minute. And then they pull apart. Yui says goodnight because she's not one to move fast, you guys. Leave it the fuck alone. And Deku's just enjoying his date because he's just like, huh, so this is what it's like to be single. I like it. And he's just gone. And now for some fun. I'll say it's time for the 4th time he fucks. And in this one, he finally will get a tattoo of the female hero. And I've read comments, and y'all like Mirako a lot. But I'm not going to introduce her. Not yet, at least. And, well, let's see. For, who do I want? Who was I going to say? It's, Fuck. What was her name? Mount Lady. Yeah. It's Mount Lady that he meets up. And I'll say he's just, he went to a bar. Not, because, like, well, no, just to a club. Fuck it. He goes to a club because he's trying out new things. And he sees Mount Lady dancing. And he's just like, God damn, that bitch thick. Well, he don't say that. He's just like, God damn, she's hot. Like, just stuff like that. Because, yeah. And, yeah, other guys were buying her drinks and shit. And it just wasn't going. Like, she just kept on shooting them all down. So, Izuku's just like, how do I shoot my shot with a hero? Because he's just starting to think, like, I'm single now. And as far as I can tell, Mount Lady never had a boyfriend. Or at least she doesn't say she has a boyfriend. And he's looking around her, and he doesn't see a guy anywhere. And here's one of the key differences. Every guy who's tried to approach Mount Lady, they're doing it by, like, having the bartender send a drink. So Izuku's just like, maybe I'll try a more direct approach. So he just goes up to Mount Lady, says he likes how she dances, and that they should, like, dance together for a song. Mount Lady smirks and saying, "Aw, that's cute, kid." And Izuku's just like, not a kid. Like, relatively annoyed by that, but just, yeah. And Mount Lady's just, like, teasing him, saying, "You're not a kid?" And Izuku's just like, nah. I'm gonna go to this one now, because I don't have one with him and Mount Lady, because I can't find one that's appropriate, at least, because fuck it. You dive in so far into the internet, you see some things, you're like, alright then. So Izuku and Mount Lady, they ended up just dancing together for a minute. And I'll say, like, some of the guys were pissed that, like, this guy's actually, like, getting a better shot. So a guy does start, like, causing some commotion. And I'll say he's just super drunk right now. And then he's trying to, you know what, fuck it. I'll say it's Death Arms, because I don't like that nigga. I never did. Fuck that person. So yeah. Death Arms, he got, like, drunk, and he grabbed Mountain Lady by the arm and saying, you know, like, you, because her name is you, dance with me instead of this brat. And Mountain Lady's just like, let me go, Death Arms, because I don't know his real name, so, and I don't feel like, and I'm not going to bother looking it up. Same with Kamui Woods. I'm not going to bother looking up their actual names. Whatever their hero names are, I'll refer to them as that. So yeah, Izuku's just seeing Death Arms being a dick, and he straight up tells him, like, go, like, aren't you too drunk right now, man? Go, like, you should probably just drink some water and, like, sober up a bit. Death Arms just punches Izuku right, like, in the face. And Izuku gets, like, a bloody nose from this. And Izuku's just like, so that's how you want to play. And Mount Lady is just, like, telling Death Arms that he needs to stop because what he's doing isn't, right? He's a hero and he's drunk in public. And now he just punched a civilian. Like, because she's trying to, like, defuse the situation before it gets really bad. And this is when Death Arms is saying, this is when Death Arms says, shut up, you stupid whore. And I go, like, I don't care. I don't care about that stupid little brat either. He just grabs, and now he's like, he put both arms on her arm, like, he grabs her by the shoulders with both of his arms, and he's still very fucked up, so he's just like, the only thing I care about is you right now, and when I'm me, I care, I don't love you or bullshit, I just want to see you naked, because he's drunk, so he's just saying whatever the fuck. And yeah, so Mountain Lady is trying to push him off, but she can't because If she uses her gigantification quirk, it's over because she'll destroy the building. So she's in a very bad situation. So Izuku just sneaks up behind, no, not sneaks up. He jumps on Death Arm's back and puts him in a sleeper hold. And he uses his full demonic strength. And Death Arm's, he lets go of Mount Lady to try and grab Izuku. But Izuku is squeezing so hard that, Death Arms just passes out within 10 seconds. He could not get, a grip on Izuku. And Izuku was, kneeing him in the back every now and then to, get him, to stop him from, stopping Izuku from choking him out. Mount Lady sees that Izuku choked out Death Arms. She thanks him and says that was fucking stupid. And then Izuku's saying, but I didn't use my quirk, and yeah, what do we do with him now? So what Mount Lady does is she does call the police and get Death Arms taken away. Not arrested, but he was charged with disorderly conduct while under the influence. I don't know if that's 2 charges or not, or whatever. So yeah, now Mount Lady thanks Izuku, and Izuku's just like, man, I can't believe those heroes are jerks sometimes. What's up with guys not getting no for an answer? Mount Lady hugs Izuku, saying she's really glad that he was here to stop from things getting worse. Izuku's just saying, I'm glad I could help. And Mount Lady is just like, do you want to come back to my place? Because Mount Lady was looking to get some action. It's just the whole Death Arm things kind of threw her off. And now she had her own saving night right now. So Izuku's just like, I'd like that. So he follows Mount Lady back to her place. Because, well, no. Yeah, no. He just follows her back to her place. And Mount Lady puts on a purple lingerie for him. Because it's either cream or purple, and I'm like, I like purple more, so purple. And Izuku, he does enjoy what he sees. So when he gets undressed and Mount Lady sees what he's packing, Mount Lady's just like, yeah, kid, this is going to be a great night. Oh, god damn it. So yeah, no, Izuku, Mount Lady, they get it on. And this is where one thing I'll say is different from the canon is that, oh, not canon, but from my regular stories, this time Mount Lady made Izuku wear his Saiyan battle armor because she don't want no kids at all, whatsoever. So Izuku is, for the first time in his life, he's actually wearing a condom. And he admits that it feels different, but still really good. So yeah, he actually ends up going through 3 different condoms because they keep on ripping. Even Mount Lady's just like, fuck, I only have one more kid. And Deku's just like, hopefully it's stronger. Because Mount Lady is enjoying it, and she's despite her being a pro hero and having birth control, she's still on the safe side. So Izuku and her go back to it, and what was I about to say? The condom doesn't rip this time, but when he does finish, the condom's no longer useful, and Deku is still at attention, and he's saying he's ready for the next round already. And Mount Lady is just like, oh, I don't have a condom. Fuck, what do I do? And Izuku's just like, there are other options, because he knows that he definitely doesn't have to wear a condom for anal, so it is what it is. And yeah, Mount Lady realizes what he's suggesting, and she's just like, I haven't I don't have too much experience with that kid. I'm not gonna say no, but she looks at how big his dick is. She's just like, please be gentle. Because it'd be really weird going to work and being like a giant woman who's limping. And Izuku's just like, oh, um, I get it. So yeah, he does go in slow, and that continues on for like about 40 minutes. And the entire time Mount Lady is in like a different level of lustful ecstasy, because it's a different feeling for her. And she is enjoying what Izuku's doing. And like, I'm gonna say it's like doggy style with the back shots. And he's pulling Mount Lady's hair and giving her some, like, and smacking her ass every now and then. Because, yeah. Izuku is starting to get more. What would be the right word? I'm trying to think of the right word for this. Not confident, but like, he feels like he's the shit in a sense, like, because it's like a confidence boost for him, because he's just like, wow, the fourth woman I'm fucking is a hero. This is great. And so yeah, she lasts about 3 rounds. The second round of anal really took a lot out of her. And the final round was just her giving, I want to say it was Pazuri, the Japanese word for it. She's just rubbing her tickled bitties on his dang. And that's how that's going. Sucking him off. Because she's like, her bottom half is just too sore to do anything at this point, because she never had a guy in the double digits. And Deku, he wrecked it. Like a G. Anyway, yeah, Izuku, he finishes on Mount Lady's chest. Mount Lady licks the tip because she can, I guess. I don't know what to tell y'all. It's like, some of y'all only here for details, so I gotta give some, and I'm not trying to think of the details ahead with a script, because at that point I'm just like, bro, this ain't even a what if anymore. It's just me writing like fan fiction. This is not the right website, you know? But no, yeah, no. Izuku finishes with Mount Lady, and she passes out, and Izuku's still like relatively like energized. Like, maybe a third of his stamina was chipped. And Izuku realizes this, and he's just like, you know what? I'm gonna head out. And Mount Lady hears him saying he's gonna leave, and Mount Lady's just like, call me. And Izuku's just like, oh yeah, I will. And he's just thinking, like, he asks her, I'll go like, do you mind if I get a tattoo, like, of your mask on a mountain, in a sense? And Mount Lady's, or like, just Mount Lady, like, just scribbled on his body somewhere. And Mount Lady's looking at him, you want to get a tattoo of me? And Izuku's just saying, yeah, you definitely are a hero in my book. He smirks at this because, yeah. And she did ask him about the Aizawa tattoo, and he's saying that's the hero he looks up to right now. So, yeah. So that's a thing. And, well, yeah. What was I about to say? Yeah, Izuku leaves with Mount Lady's number in his phone, and he's just like, I did have fun with Mount Lady. I had fun with Melissa, fun with Fuyumi, and fun with Mitsuki. And he's starting to think like, which one was my favorite? And he's just like, nah, I don't think I can pick favorites. It's more just They all had each of them had a redeeming quality that made them stick out more than the other. So Izuku's just like, what should I do now? And hold up, I got it. Izuku's just go like, what should I do now? And this is when you get a text from Momo, and just I know it was late at night, but no, I'll just say it was like fucking midnight because he does that later. No, so it's midnight and he's leaving Mount Lady's house, and he gets a text from Yaoyorozu saying that if Izuku would mind working out with her tomorrow. And Izuku's just like, sure, what time? She says to meet her at her family's estate at 5. And yeah, if y'all wondering where this is going, just look at the photo. And so yeah, they go. It's the next day. Izuku goes, and I'll say he brings in 2 bento boxes that he made, one for him and one for her. And Momo was surprised, and he's like, "Aw, Izuku, you didn't have to make me lunch. I had butlers that could have done it." And then Izuku's just like, "Yeah, but I don't know. I think it was just a nice thing. Like, you didn't have to invite me to your house to train. So I figured might as well do something nice to show I appreciate you." Momo blushes at this and saying, "Thanks, Izuku. You're a sweet guy." And Izuku just laughs nervously because he knows, like, yeah, Momo, the things I'm doing is probably not the same as the Izuku you knew. So that's a thing. And yeah, Momo actually starts asking, they first are doing like kendo fights, like with bamboo sticks, like practicing swordplay. And Izuku's just like, I didn't know you were interested in stuff like this. And she's saying, well, her quirk lets her create stuff, so she tries to train in different weapons as possible. And she points out that Izuku's surprisingly well at swordplay, despite her not knowing that, she's surprised that Izuku's good at swordplay, despite him never, demonstrating any skills with swords or weapons. And Izuku's just saying, yeah, it's one of those things that I'm starting to realize I picked up or just have a natural talent to. Because every time he sleeps, his body's acclimating more to the memories that he had gained from the devil. And the devil did give him knowledge of everything that he had taken. And I already described what all that was, so yeah. So I'll say it's like maybe 2 hours later after their swordplay that Izuku's just like, do you want to eat now? They do. They enjoy their food. And Momo was surprised at how good Izuku's food was. And, what dish did he make? Hold up. Yeah, I like watching Food Wars too, so it's an anime I like. And I'll say he made, Kuga's Mabo tofu. And if y'all want to pause this and take the photo, because this was from the manga so yeah. And he just doesn't make it as spicy, so Momo and him can enjoy. So yeah, and in case you're wondering, I've not ever made Mapo tofu, because I can't handle spicy food for shit. So I don't know what to tell y'all. So yeah, he makes them mapo tofu, and they enjoy their food. So yeah, Momo enjoys the food and compliments Izuku on his cooking. Izuku smiles and says thanks. I know it's probably not as gourmet as what you're used to, but I figured, might as well try. And Momo's just she's saying, no, this is really good, Izuku. Yeah. And so now, they finish eating. They give it like 40 minutes for like the food to digest because they're not trying to like fuck themselves over and get sick. And yeah, so they talk, and Momo actually starts asking Izuku like what happened with the situation with him and Mitsuki. Like, how did that start? Like, she just wants the beginning, but does not need the details. She can pretty much, she doesn't need to know because she already saw Izuku doing some things. She's just, like, so surprised that, like, it was Mitsuki of all people. And, because she did see that he had hickeys on his neck, too, and, like, but she thought they were from Mitsuki. And she even brings up, like, she didn't know that, Bakugo's mom would, like, leave him so many hickeys and all that noise. And Izuku just said, oh, they weren't from Mitsuki. As he looks down, and she's just like, they weren't? No. They were from Fuyumi. And she was surprised. And I know I've already gone, like, that he's told her. I'm just going, like, how he told her, in a sense, now. And if I've already covered that in the past, then just slightly ignore that part. This is how she's finding out and all the other noise. And Izuku does, like, he does say, like, with Fuyumi, that was his first. And then, like, after Fuyumi, it was Mitsuki. And then from there, he ended up oversharing. And Momo was just listening the entire time. How May had helped him tried to set him up with Melissa. And that she had planted an aphrodisiac gas that affected him and Melissa. And that happened. And Momo just asked, Melissa's shield? And Izuku's just like, you know her? And Momo just goes like, yeah. On my trip to Island, because my family goes there sometimes. We help sponsor them on some other things. And Momo's just like, starting to realize, okay, Izuku's already like 3 bodies up. And it's low-key hurting her because she does have a thing for Izuku, but not to, she wants to date him, just, she's now curious, like, is it really good? And Izuku's just like, what do you mean? Sex. Is it really that good? And Izuku's just like, oh, right, you and Ida never. Momo looks down and blushes and saying, he was always so pushy, and I couldn't get myself comfortable. And Izuku's just like, yeah, I can understand that. And yeah, like, he just, like, admits, sex is so awesome. I don't want to be mean about it. It's just, I didn't even think I'd enjoy it that much. And he just thinks, like, he starts remembering everything. And then he's just like, but there are other things that are different. And he's like, what do you mean? I mean, yeah, it is amazing. And he does enjoy it. It's just, he even goes, like, in relationships, the emotional support that he was getting, it meant something to him. Like, he enjoyed, like, how close you could feel to someone. And then sex is, like, the reverse of it. You're so close to someone and you don't have to, like, know them, technically. And Momo's just like, oh, okay. And Izuku's just like, so yeah, with Fuyumi, I didn't really know her. And she and I were friendly, but not really friends. And when it happened with Mitsuki, and Izuku's just saying, like, he straight up quoted Mitsuki, because Bakugo's dad took Bakugo and spent time with him, rather than alone time with Mitsuki after months, she's saying it's fair for her to play with Bakugo's friends. And how Izuku interprets this is that, like, if it wasn't him, it probably might have been someone else from the class. And Momo's nodding in agreement, thinking, like, wow, I didn't know Bakugo's mom was like that. And Izuku's just like, yeah, neither did I. It was nerve-wracking. And then he even says he had fun with Melissa, like, and she is a really cool girl, but, like, it was really weird because, in a sense, we were kind of placed there, not really getting to know one another because of the aphrodisiac. And Momo's just nodding, and Izuku's just like, anyway, let's go back to training. So Izuku stands up, and he just goes to where the weights are. Momo gets up, and Izuku starts curling, like, just, like, the small, like, I'll just say that's a, like, 10-pound weight. And Momo's just like, don't you think you can lift something heavier than that? And Izuku's just like, right. He goes to pass it to Momo. Momo takes the weight, grabs Izuku by the neck, and then just brings him in for a kiss. Because, yeah. Izuku turns red because he was not expecting this. And, like, eventually he just accepts it. He starts making out with Momo. And despite them being sweaty, Izuku still licks Momo's entire, like, body. Like, he going heavy on the foreplay. Because he's enjoying Momo's little moans and how she squirms and all that noise. He hits her with the tongue tornado and the double finger combo. And Momo, she's just looking at Midoriya with lust in her eyes. And she's just like, this feels amazing, Izuku. You're really good at this. And, like, she starts squeezing his head with her thighs. And she's just saying, like, I guess they taught you well. And Izuku, like, he gets a little bit red because he's just like, sort of. This is given to me by the knowledge of a devil, but I guess I shouldn't tell her that. Because his mouth is full. And he's just thinking. So, yeah, Izuku continues to eat out Momo. And when Momo climaxes, Izuku makes sure to slurp the love nectar, I'm going to call it, because I'm trying to figure out ways to say it without saying it, guys, but, like, still give you the details that you guys want, you know? And it's really tricky. So, yeah, Momo takes his two fingers that were inside of her and starts licking and sucking on them. And she even says, like, she saw how big Midoriya was, and the times when Ida would whip it out in hopes for Momo to do something. And, like, she even admits, like, she did, like, give Ida a hand job, like, a few times, but she never felt comfortable because it was pretty much forced, but not forced. He was really pushy about it. And Izuku's just like, okay, and she grabs his and saying, yours is a lot bigger, Izuku. And yeah. And Izuku's just smirks and saying, you know what? Because at this point, he lifts up Momo, like bridal style. And Momo's just like, Izuku. He's just saying, let's go clean up in the shower. Momo's just nodding because she's just like, okay, he's not fighting me, and it looks like it's about to go well. So this might end well. So yeah, they shower together and they go back into Momo's room where they continue to have the fun. And Momo, she's now, for the first time ever, giving head. So she's kind of terrible. She's terrible at it, but Izuku's still, like, coaching her in a sense. Last of my water bottle, fuck. Anyway, Izuku's coaching her and like saying she doesn't have to take it all like and get it all the way to fit because like it might not go all the way down her throat because she's new at it. So Momo focuses mostly on the tip of it, and Izuku then remembers something that Mount Lady did, but he never mentioned he fucked Mount Lady. So he tells Momo, you can use your breasts. And Momo's just like, oh, right. And so she does, and she starts giving, massaging Deku's dong with her tickled bitties. And Izuku is enjoying this. And Momo's just like, this feels so phallic, but I'm enjoying it. Does that make me bad? And Izuku's just like, naughty, yes, bad, no. And Momo blushes because, like, she is new to this, and she's surprised at how far she's going. And eventually Izuku just saying, for her to lay on her back so Izuku can do it with her. And Momo's just nodding. And then Momo asked Izuku if he wore a condom with the other girls. And Izuku was just like, blushing. Well, she knows that Izuku was not wearing a condom with Mitsuki, but like with Melissa and Fuyumi. And Izuku's just like, no? Like thinking this might be the end. And then Momo nods and saying, okay, then you don't need one. And Izuku's just like, wait, what? And she's just nodding and saying, she doesn't think it's fair. Like, since if Izuku's first time was without a condom, then she wants her first time to be without a condom, as long as it's with Izuku. Because it's something he's felt. So yeah, Izuku and Momo, they start kissing a little bit, and Izuku's just massaging her breasts, rubbing her clit so it's like slippery when it goes in. And Izuku does start off very slow when he puts in the tip, and it does get Momo to like yelp and like moan very loudly. And Izuku's just like, this is like, he blushes when he looks at Momo, and Momo's just like, what? Izuku's just saying this is something he's dreamed about a lot. And Momo blushes because she now realizes that Izuku has thought of her in the same way that she's thought of him. So this could be something fun for both of them. So yeah, they start fucking, and Izuku's going slow at it, like it's a soft drum beat, like a type shit. Because, for him, it's trying to like fit a banana through a Cheerio, and it's not like, yeah, the Cheerio will like open up a bit, but it's still a tight squeeze, my dude. And yeah, him and Momo go at it, and they only do one round because this is more of a passionate, so it's not fucking, it's like they're making love in a sense. So Izuku nibbles on Momo's neck as he continues, and Momo just constantly is moaning, and she blows like into Izuku's ear, and Izuku likes it. He does the same to Momo, and it causes Momo to like clench it and wrap her legs around Izuku. And Izuku's just like, if you keep going like that, I'll. And Momo's just, she kisses Izuku now, and continues her like grip on him as Izuku starts thrusting, and he's going faster. And Izuku, like, what Momo thought is that he means he'll come. Instead, Izuku's just like, he won't be able to like stop himself from going like ham. So he go ham. So the beat went from a to a. Yeah. And Momo's just like, holy fuck. And Izuku's just like, he like can't hold himself anymore. It's like he's lost in Momo's body. And Momo's just like, she looks at Izuku and tells him it's okay to like finish whenever, because like this is like a whole new experience for her and she's enjoying it. And she even tells Izuku there is no wrong move. This is not this is what she was hoping it would be like with her and Ida, but it never was. And Izuku like nods his head, understanding that like Ida was probably the biggest piece of shit ever. Because, yo, how the fuck you cheat on Momo? Stupid. Anyway, Izuku continues to clap Momo. And he does lift her up to where it's like she's not really riding him, but holding her. You know? Like, fuck. It's really weird to say it. He gets her in a new position. He gets her in like the full Nelson. Because fuck it, why not? He gets her in the full Nelson, and Momo is surprised at how much it feels like it grew within her. And Izuku's just like, he has more positions that he'll put her in whenever she wants him to. Momo's just nodding, well, not nodding, but moaning in agreement, saying that's perfect. She trusts Izuku. And yeah, Izuku, when he says he's about to nut, Momo's saying, okay, just release it whenever. And Izuku's saying, are you sure it's okay to let it be inside? Because he even says he didn't do it with the other people. I'm lying, he said he didn't do it, like he didn't nut in Melissa to Momo because he didn't want to. He just was always just like pulled out. And Momo's just like, then yeah, definitely do it, because this way she'll have something over them. And Izuku's just like, damn it, I just lied and she believed it. And yeah, so he finishes in Momo, and Momo pretty much just like falls back onto Izuku into like a position like this. Just thankfully this photo had clothes, because she's not wearing anything, and she just snuggles up to Izuku like so, and they just kind of fall asleep together. So yeah, Izuku and Momo have happened, and 1 hour and 34 minutes. Yeah, so Izuku's already fucked Momo, and the rest of this, like, he continues to fuck Momo and Mitsuki and Fuyumi and Mount Lady, like, throughout the whole his month of training. And yeah, the months of training. So him and Bakugo do spar sometimes, like with his explosions. And Momo had helped Izuku train his Word Soul with all the times she tried to hit him with her weapons and the cannons. And by training with Izuku, her creation quirk is a lot more efficient now. And Bakugo gets better handle on its explosions. Eventually, what Izuku does do is, because he's still with the support course items, he does make a new invention for Bakugo, which is an upgraded version of his fully loaded gauntlets. But in this one, it's it super condensed his sweat to where his explosions are now the equivalent to if he had one for all. If y'all seen, y'all should have seen it now. Two Heroes, after he got the quirk from Izuku, how his explosions were so much stronger. Yeah, that's what this support course item does with his sweat. It condenses it down, and when it's fully loaded, it does that type of damage. And yeah, the whole Izuku and Mei thing did not happen within the 10 months because Mei was willing, but she didn't even realize that 10 months had passed because she was so caught up with her other babies. And Izuku's just like, I mean, yeah, I did miss out, but I have other chicks. Because, like, they're all fucking, and Momo even says she likes the arrangement she has with Izuku now. And Izuku's just like, what? Like, they can do things together, and they're still friends, but, like, she even says she doesn't technically have to be Izuku's girlfriend. And Izuku's just like, oh, sure. I guess that works. You're okay with this? Momo's just like, no, not really, but she hugs Izuku. And she's just saying, like, she just cares too much about Izuku. Like, she gets that his heart is probably not in the mode of relationships, but it's still a big heart. And she knows that when her and Izuku are together, that all of his heart is with her. And yeah, which is true to a degree, because Izuku, like, that's human, is like in love with Momo, but the devil half of him is more like, yeah, but we can have multiple women, bro. And she's saying it's cool, so we don't actually have to stay with just one chick. So yeah. And so yeah. And eventually Momo and Izuku do fall out of the fuck buddy friends. Because she will end up getting a new relationship. It's just something, like, during the 10 months, they were fuck buddies. And that's for y'all Momo Deku shippers. I gave y'all some, but not all. Yeah. So Izuku, Momo, they're all good now. And she leaves. Not she leaves. When Izuku leaves, he feels conflicted now because he's like, well, what do I do with the other girls? Because he doesn't know if they'll all be as cool as Momo. And he doesn't necessarily feel like lying to them about all this shit. Huh. I just seen my friend drive by. Anyway, fuck, where was I? Yeah, he doesn't know how the other girls would feel about, like, Deku's freeness in relationships. So when he talks it over with Mitsuki and Fuyumi, they're like, nah, we're okay with that. Because, for Mitsuki, she's just like, cool, I now have a lover. Her Sancho. And yeah, Izuku's just like, okay, cool. And Bakugo does find out about it because, not that, like, he walked in on it, but he became aware of it. Like, he put two and two together because Bakugo wasn't dumb as fuck. And yeah, but Bakugo didn't say shit about it because, like, to himself, he realizes that his mom and dad aren't really in love with each other anymore. And that, like, I'm gonna say Bakugo told his dad that he does have a side woman and that he's trusting Bakugo not to tell her mom. And that's why he's not touched Mitsuki. And so now Bakugo's just like, well, mom now has one and dad has one. I just wish mom wasn't fucking one of my friends. So yeah. Him and Mount Lady still do fuck every now and then. And Mount Lady just said, oh, no, kid. I'm I'm a pro hero. I don't do relationships. It was a great night of sex, and what the fuck? Y'all hear that, right? That was weird as shit. Anyway, my lady's just like, yeah, no, the sex was great, kid, and we're definitely going to be doing that shit again, but as a pro hero, I don't think relationships are meant for me, so we're pretty much okay. And Deku's just like, wow, this is easier than I thought it'd be. However, Yui was not on with it, so she's pretty much not gonna be cool with Deku fucking around with multiple bitches. So she is, like, in a sense, gonna tell Deku that she will find a way to win him over from all the other women. And Deku's just like, oh, I didn't know you cared. And Yui blushes when she's saying that, like, she's always had a small crush on Izuku. It's just he was dating someone and she didn't feel right, like, trying to be homewrecker. But since they're not together, but Deku was also in, like, a free-ish relation, like, not like any relationships, just like fuck buddies with multiple people. And Yui is just like, she wants a real relationship, but she understands if she first has to be a fuck buddy, then so fucking be it. Because, yeah. So Yui and Deku, they don't ever fuck within the 10 months, but they do go on a lot of dates. And the most they've done is just, like, she's giving him head and Deku's eating her out. But they've never, like, fully fucked because I'm gonna say she's a virgin and she's intimidated by Izuku's package. So she does like spending time with Izuku, and Izuku is fine with this because she gives really good head. Why not? But no, that's how that's going. And as for his tattoos, because I know I'll go into that too, and now it's about time, because I'm going to stop this video like roughly just under 2 hours. So now I have time for the tattoos. He does get the Mount Lady tattoo. He gets other tattoos, like with his System of a Down one. Where was that one? Right here. His System of a Down one and all the other t-shirts. He gets a red dragon tattoo on his right arm. And, well, it's because he likes Ryuk, and he is going to try and fuck her. Just because he knows she'll be at UA. And he's just like, I really want it. And as for some of the memories that Izuku had gained, he had gained all, like, the things that the Kotodama Devil did, and how fucked up the royals were with elves, and how jealous they were. And Izuku could still see how some shit like that is kind of how it is today, and he doesn't like it, but that's why he's here. And so he does know about, like, how, about Asa, them existing, how they used to, and all that noise. And, yeah, he liked how Asa's philosophy was, and that's partial of his thing that's added into it, because he respects the Kotodama Devil. Ended up, as he died, in his mind he respected Asta. I know it wasn't really what happened, but in this one he did, because he's like, okay, I got defeated by this fucker who has no magic and has this fucked up anti-magic, so whatever the fuck it is. Fuck. I'm sleepy. Watch later. He's a good YouTuber. Woo. Yeah. Fuck. So yeah, he gets tattoos, and he gets a lot of occult tattoos, because yeah, he ends up getting a 5-leaf black clover on his throat, I know you don't see it on this one because it's not going to be the exact tattoos of this. It's just he gets a fuck ton of tattoos. So he gets a black clover that he gets just on his throat. And when they ask him, he goes into, well, one leaf is hope, one leaf is faith, one leaf is love, one is luck, and then the fifth one is the devil. And they're all like, the devil? And then Deku, this is when he finally shows Bakugo and Momo his horns. And they were surprised because, wait, what's with the horns? And Deku's just like, yeah, the more power I'm using, the more likely these are to come out. And when my horns do come out, my power is less restricted. He tells them that he even can push it further, but he's not trying to because he knows that his body's not ready to handle that much energy at the moment. So that's how that's gonna be. And yeah, let's see. On his back, he does get a pair of wings in honor of Hawks, because I'll say Hawks died in this one, fighting some villains, and he died saving people. So on his back, he does have black wings for Hawks. And let's see who else. He gets a rabbit tattoo on his side for Mirako, because y'all want Mirako. Y'all gonna get Mirako. Just give me time. Let's see who else. I'm gonna say he gets a sun and moon tattoo on his palm, on his hands, on the back of his hands. And I'm trying to think what other tattoos. I'll explain the sun and moon ones later, but just give me time. Nah, I think I'll add more to it, like, as the story progresses, so I can think about it more. This is What If Deku Was Cheated On 1.5, the second half of the other video, because I have fucking tried to keep my phone from shutting off during this whole recording, and successfully I'm at 1 hour and 48 minutes. So I think I'll leave it at this. And for y'all wondering, Deku, the hybrid Deku one, I am still working on that one. It's just that I'm changing a lot of male characters into female characters, and that I'm saying, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna think of some original characters of females to add into the story, which I have thought of like a few. And okay, I'll list off 2 of the original characters that I've thought of using, and they'll also be in this What If, and that's why he has the sun and moon tattoos, because they'll be his classmates. The first original character that will be both in What If Deku Was a Hybrid and What If Deku Was Cheated On was, and What If Deku Was Cheated On in this one, they're twin sisters. So yeah, the first one is Hinata Inui. Her quirk is called Solar Energy. Her hero name will be Rita. And if y'all get that, that is from 7 Deadly Sins, what the axe was. And her quirk is pretty much the move Solar Beam. She charges up solar energy, can shoot it out, or just have it to boost her strength. And let's see, the other one was where was it? Fuck. I had it written down. Let me look for it. Yuki. Yuki Ino. Because Yuki means snow. And in this one, her quirk is called Moon. And what? Oh, not Moon. Well, fuck. Yeah, no. So, Yuki Inui. Her sister was called Solar. Yeah, the Solar Energy. Hers is called Crescent Moon. And what this lets her do is that whenever she does a swiping motion with either her hands or her legs, or even her hair, honestly, she can create a crescent moon wind slash, in a sense. And that's how her quirk works. So I'm just calling the quirk Crescent Moon. And yeah, fuck. Her hero name, I was just thinking of just going with Luna, but that's just Spanish for moon. So if y'all can think of something cool for like the this original character's hero name, I'd much appreciate it. And I'm gonna try and record What If Deku Was a Hybrid Part 2 today after work. So bear with me, because like I said, I've been trying to record, but the video keeps on cutting off and blacking out before I can finish. And I've checked. The app is up to date. My phone is up to date with its software. I don't know why it's glitching. It's just saying I don't want you to. Which sucks, because I am trying to record for you guys. Because yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna cut it off here. I hope y'all enjoy. And I'll see you later.